Hey guys, this is Mr. H, and I am doing the seventh video in the quadratic formula playlist. This is actually a really important video, so I'll probably move it up in the playlist so that I want to make sure students see this. Now, what I've been showing you in the other videos is basically whenever you have a quadratic equation and they ask you to solve it algebraically, you're just going to use a quadratic formula. And then you're going, but technically what we're doing is we're just using insolve and we find both of the zeros. Now, this is the only time that you will not be able to use insolve. And here's why. Because they want an exact value. And basically what that's telling you is that the solutions for this are going to be irrational numbers. That's what you usually can assume. It's going to be irrational. So here's what you need to do. We won't be able to use insolve. So I'm going to write insolve here, and then I'm going to cross it out because you can't use it. Whenever it asks for exact, you can't use insolve. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use the actual quadratic formula. We're just going to plug the numbers in, and then we're going to calculate the part inside the square root, and we're going to be done. So let me show you what I mean. Very first thing, we got to get the coefficients. So A is going to be 6. Now you should notice that there is no BX term. It goes from x squared. So normally you would have this. You would have AX squared plus BX plus C equals 0. In this case, there is no BX term. We just go here and here. So you're going to say B is equal to 0. And then the constant is equal to a negative 42. Now, we're going to need to store these numbers. But so let me just write down what we're going to do. It's going to be x equals, it's going to be a negative 0. Oops, I want to make this blue. Negative 0 plus or minus the square root of 0 squared minus 4 times 6 times a negative 42. And then that's all going to be over the quantity 2 times 6. Now, the only thing we need to really calculate is this part in here. That's all we need to calculate, the b squared minus 4ac part. So let me show you how we're doing that. So let's go get the calculator. And let's do this. So let me get rid of this stuff. Menu 15. I'm going to go menu 14, get rid of empty the variables, menu 15. Boom, good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to store 6 into A. And then I'm going to store 0. Remember, we don't have a middle term, so it's going to be 0. And we're going to store that into B. And then we are going to store a negative 42 into C. And then we're just going to calculate the part inside the square root. So that is B squared minus 4 times A times C. Boom. So that's 1,008. So what I'm going to do, I've got everything that I need now to finish this question. Let me move this over. And here's what my final answer is going to be. It's going to be x equals, since it's 0, we don't need to write that. We can have plus or minus. And then inside of here, we're just going to put this 1,008 because that's the b squared minus 4ac part. So that's what you write inside. So this is going to be I'm going to make this red. This is going to be 1,008. And then in the bottom, it's just 2 times 6, which is 12. So this is our answer. We don't have to do anything. We've left it as a fraction. Even though it has a square root in there that's irrational, we've left it. This is considered exact. So whenever you see the word exact, you have to have a fraction, or you can't have a decimal. You can't have decimals that go on forever. You cannot have decimals that go on forever. On forever. You can't have that. So you can't use NSolve, because NSolve will give you decimals, and we don't want decimals. That's why we have to actually use the quadratic formula and calculate the b squared minus 4ac part, and just leave that in the square root. And that would be it. I hope this has been clear. If it's not, please talk to me and I'll try to see if I can clear it up for you. I did do another video, or I will do another video, number 8. It also has the exact, so you can watch that one if this one isn't completely clear to you. All right, I'm going to stop this and post it to the playlist.